Let's go. We got the
What's
Greg Wright
going
team,
on?
EXP Realty, and we got Corbin Claypool, Vera Mortgage. Corbin, intro yourself.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Corbin Claypool. I am a loan officer here at Vero Mortgage. Excited to be a part of this. Talk about the market, things that we're seeing in the market, some amazing things that we've seen some of our buyers win with in this market, up to $20,000 in closing costs covered by the seller. Just some awesome positive wins. So thank you for having me, Greg.
Absolutely. I'm glad you're aboard. And that real estate loan professional with all the different loan packages and situations to overcome this market. It's working like bread on butter, working
100%.
great. Butter on bread, however we say that. And I've got some good information when Corbin's done about the real estate market in the Central Valley here and how that's working for both the sellers and the buyers. So Corbin, go ahead, jump on in there.
Yeah. So today, we all know rates have gone up a little bit. But what I want to talk about today is the silver lining of how I've seen multiple clients win in this scenario as a buyer. First off, because of the winter months, things tend to slow down a little bit historically. And the way that you can win during this time is to ask for sellers for closing costs. You can get reductions in prices. Now, I don't want to give you false hope because, to be honest, the market is still very hot. There's still a lot of people buying homes. So if you go pick that home that's fully renovated, everybody wants it. There's going to be multiple offers on that property typically. And we're even seeing some properties that I've seen where my agents are putting offers on properties. They actually are going up a little bit above the asking price because they know there's multiple offers. These are newer homes, very good condition. So don't think that you can just come in and lowball because that's not going to happen. But what you can do is get with an amazing agent like the Reitz team that will be able to pick out the deals where he can show you, hey, this property, I think we can get some closing costs on. He can look at the time on the market. He can look at all these different things and do a true analysis for you and help potentially setting it up where you can get maybe a reduction in the purchase price, or maybe you can get all of your closing costs covered. Real life scenario that we have right now, we have a client together, actually, Greg. I think the client's getting $12,000, $15,000 in closing cost. And almost every contract that I'm seeing right now, clients have closing costs covered. So they're only coming in with their down payment. So has the cost of lending gone up? Absolutely. But that cost is now sometimes being covered by the seller depending on the property. And if we go back to the traditional buying versus renting, I have a sheet here, $400,000 house buying versus renting. The net gain while buying a home over the course of 10 years is $192,000. You're up $192,000 for buying a home in this market with the rates where they're at. And that's if rates never come down. And guess what? Rates will come down. You will have the opportunity to refinance eventually, and you're going to win long-term when you buy real estate. We shouldn't be looking at real estate as this, I'm going to sell in 6 months. We need to look at it. What is this going to do for my family in 4, 5, 6, 7 years, right? Because of the 2 to 3% interest rates that we've been seeing, or that we saw back in 2021, that's causing a lack of inventory, which causes the market to be more competitive because the people that have those rates aren't selling, which makes it further competitive with you as a buyer. But the silver lining in that is that your home is going to continue to appreciate over the next 4 to 5 years because of that. So, Greg, that's my take on the market. I could talk all day about it, man. I'm excited about it. We're seeing a lot of buyers get approved, a lot of buyers buy homes, and it's still an amazing market. So,
taking my flow board off. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know who can see Greg Wright's real estate team, Fresno, California, and we are the mover and shakers in the real estate world. We take listings and buyers and investors and we rock and roll every month, 7 to 14 transactions in this market. Yes, you heard right, in this market right now. And there's only 4 of us on the team. Let's go. I don't know if you can see that board behind me right there, but let me tell you what it says. And I'm telling you this to the buyers and sellers out there because the market's moving. When you got working agents and a working team like us, we're moving the market. We're the ones making things happen. with good sellers and buyers like yourself and your investors out there. We have 15 escrows on the right side, the green. And on the left side, that's about 9 listings, 10 listings, 10 listings and 15 escrows. Why do I say that? Verifying that there's movement in the market and there's a lot of buyers and still sellers selling, because sellers are selling for multiple reasons. I have one up and you're working on the loan side, right? She's moving to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
They know that they can refinance soon, so they're going to make the move happen, which is great, right? We're getting buy down rates on the other end. It makes sense for the sellers to sell because they can get a lower interest rate by a couple percentage points buying down from the seller of the home that they're buying. So there's great opportunities out there. I want to go over these statistics, real life statistics. So I'm going to have my glasses on. I'm going to read this so I can get the numbers accurate. I have them somewhat memorized, but it's better if I read off of this to make sure that everybody gets the real information. First thing I'm going to do is go over homes for sale, active homes on the market. Okay. We have 1,719 active homes on the market. Compare that to a normal real estate market, which should be 2,000 to 2,200. 2,000 to 2,200 is a normal average real estate market, fair to the seller, fair to the buyer. We're almost there. We're still a little bit of a seller's market, but it's pretty average right now, right? Once we get to 2,000, we're in an average real estate market. So still a little bit shortage, but going up monthly by about 100. The next thing is, how are the prices doing? The price is actually going down a little bit. Price per square foot in August, I'm going to go month to month. August was $242 and went down $5, and $241 and went down $4 to $237 a square foot. So about 1.75% down, 1.8% down month to month, right? That's a pretty good drop. Days on the market actually dropped, so the market's moving faster. And to the general public, I'm going to put it in perspective. This days on the market means how long a seller takes to get a good offer on his property and accept an offer. The average time is about 37 to 45 days in Fresno County in a normal real estate market. Let's say 35 to 45. Right now, we were at 30. Last month, we were at 34, and we dropped 7 days. We're down to 27 this month in September. So days on the market went down. So things are turning, okay? Sellers are being a little bit more reasonable on price, too. Average for sale price, the average for sale price of a home, Fresno Madera County, is $572. That's not average sold, it's average for sale. The average, because you've got ranches and you've got custom homes and everything else, the average sell price for your average home is $428,000. $428,000. It's down 1.8% on price from August to September. Down 1.8%. That's big for the buyers to listen to. We're down almost 2% from last month to this month. All right, to get it sold. Now, here's some key numbers. I talked about for sale 1,719, normal markets 2,000 to 2,200. To put more perspective on that number, buyers and sellers out there and investors, we were at 800 about a year ago. So we're over double that amount now. And in February, we're at about give or take 1,300. So now we're at 1,719. So the inventory is going up, not to average yet, but a lot more normal than it used to be. So, and the buyers are still buying. So it's like a normal market right now, right? With the sellers and buyers, the way it feels and the way the transactions are showing us. Sellers, some sellers say, man, if I sell right now, you know, with the buyers and the market, the interest rates, maybe they're going to want to lowball me. There's not much of that actually happening. Let me give you the truth on that. Sold listing price versus sold price. Listing price when we list the property versus what we're selling it at on average is 99%. 99% of asking.
Wow.
So if you're at $1 million house, you get 99% of that, or 990,000. If you're a $500,000 house, this is more average to the market, you would get 495,000. So if you're 400,000, you get 396. You're only getting $1,000 off every 100,000. So 99% of asking, pretty darn good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Average days on the market is 27. Medium active price is 450, and medium sold price, the medium home sale price right now is at 400. 400 on the medium home price. Medium active price is 450, and the home sold average price, not medium or large, but the home sold. And I go back to that number. That price is 428,000. So there's your average price, 400 to 428. It's a good market. I mean, it's moving. Prices went down a little bit. Buyers are out shopping, getting a little bit better of a deal from the sellers now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the market's balancing and not in favor of either side, but it's a good time for buyers to negotiate. Let me ask the buyers this. When the rates get down, let's say 5 to 5.5% in a year and a half or two, maybe, right? Buyers, do you think that there's going to be a bull rush on these good deals that are out there and you'll have multiple offers and bidding it back up? Or you think now's the time to buy? Right now is the time to buy because you can get your offer accepted and negotiate it correctly and make a deal happen, right? That's what we're seeing, right, Corbin?
Absolutely. I love this quote by Warren Buffett. I can't remember exactly. It's on the tip of my tongue, right? When it's basically in a nutshell, when people are scared and running away, that's when you should run towards it because that's when you can actually get the good deals, right?
Absolutely.
You can actually negotiate a deal. Sorry, go ahead, Greg.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I get excited.
Yeah.
I'm an excited agent.
Yeah. When the market's going crazy, you're not going to be able to negotiate. I mean, we saw that, Greg. We saw that a year and a half ago, even 2 years ago. There's no closing cost unless you're buying some really dilapidated property that needed some work and it was built, in 1960 and never changed. You weren't getting closing cost, man, or very rarely. And now you have that opportunity. So that's all.
That's right. No, I agree. I totally agree with that. So let me go through a real life scenario with you, real life, true story on a buyer, right? So had a listing. We had the listing. I had the listing. The buyer comes. We get him pre-approved. The buyer's like, well, I don't know if it's the right time to buy. So we showed these houses. They got excited about a home. He goes, I don't know, Greg. It just, the rates are being around 6 3/4, 7%. Man, I don't know if I should buy right now. That makes my payment be a little bit higher than what it would have been before. A little bit. I go, yeah, a little bit. I go, well, let's go through that. Let's take 2 minutes to go through that. I go, so what's concerning you? He goes, well, the interest rates, the higher payment, a little bit because of it, the price of the homes right now, the fact that they're going to go down if I wait. And I go, okay, when I show you these numbers by what it would cost you to wait to buy a house, all the numbers that it would cost you as a buyer right now to wait, and it made sense, then you would consider buying if they made sense. They are going to be the truthful numbers. So are you willing to write that down? He goes, yeah. I go, grab a pencil and a paper. Right there in the house, we started writing numbers. I said, okay, if you're at a 6.75% interest rate and you want a 5.75% interest rate, I'm going to write these down too. Okay. That cost on we're going to use so everybody out there in TV land, we're using a $400,000 price of a house. 400,000. That's the key. And we're at 6.75 on a rate versus 5.75 if we wait a year, assuming that happens. And that's about as close as we can say is probably could happen. All right. That interest rate difference, that price and that home difference between 6.75 right now and 5.75 in a year if we wait on a $400,000 house with a low down payment. By the way, we have low down payments. Mm-hmm. That's $322 a month more on the payment. Calculator. 322 times 12. That's $3,864 more. $3,864 more that you're going to pay for that house if you buy now versus if you wait. Congratulations, you're going to save about $3,900. Right on. I like that. But Mr. Buyer, Mrs. Buyer, you said you were renting, correct? Well, yeah, Greg. I said, okay. And how much were you paying for rent? Didn't you say 2,000? They go, yeah, 2,000. Okay. Okay, Mr. Buyer, Mrs. Buyer, let's write that down. $2,000. Now remember, you said you want to wait 1 year. Everything's based on 400,000 in 1 year. 2,000 times, I don't need a calculator for that. 2,000 times 12 months is how much? Correct, $24,000. Okay, so we just lost 24,000 to rent. Take the $24,000 a month rent you're throwing away to a landlord for another year, minus the 3,800. Let's round it up to 4,000. You're $20,000 in the hole. More than $20,000 in the hole by waiting a year. Okay, do you agree? Don't they said yeah? It's okay. So we're upside down by 20 already. But hold on, the party's not over. The equity that you would make on that property in 1 year, every 15 years, a home value doubles in California. Every 12 to 15 years, 12 to 15 years. I'm going to take the worst case of 15 years. That's 8% a year is about what it is. So if we took 8%, we took a $400,000 house times 8% equity in 1 year, that's, calculator tells me that's 32,000 more dollars. Hold on. So because we didn't buy now and we waited, we paid 24,000 more in rent that we wasted, can't get a tax benefit. We only saved 3,864 from the lower interest rate that we're going to wait a year for. That may or may not happen, probably will. Deduct that from the rent and you're still $20,000 upside down because of the rent. Hold on. But you just lost $32,000 in equity that the landlord captured that you didn't capture because you lollygagged. So you lost another 32,000. So we're 20 plus 32. So far we're $52,000 backwards by waiting. But hold on. The party's not over. If you buy now, you'll get 2 for free. That's a joke from the commercials. So $52,000 upside down, right? But hold on. Hold on. You lost the equity. We lost the rent. We only gained 3,800 by waiting. So we're upside down 52,000, right? You get the tax benefits of buying right now. You get the huge tax benefits of buying now. So you're really ahead, right? But you forgot because most buyers, for some reason, think that the price is going to stay the same, boss, at 400,000. But let's say it goes up 8% in a year. Now you're paying 432,000, right? So that 32,000, that 322 that you're trying to save by a lower interest rate of 1 point from 6.5 to 5.75. How much you got to ask yourself now? The house goes up to 430. It goes up a little over, just under 8% a year, or 8% of 32,000. Now it's 432 in 1 year. That $32,000 that you're having to borrow, which you'll borrow about 28 because the rest will be down payment. You'll borrow 28,000. That's going to be more than the 322 a month, folks. That's going to be about $365 a month. I did the math already. So that 322 you're trying to save, you lose it just on the higher price of the house. Plus you're upside down another $37 on that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you, boss, you're upside down any way you look at it. It's the time to buy now.
100%. It's simple math, man.
Corbin, I bought a place over at the coast, right? The interest rates are what they are. It doesn't matter if it makes sense because you're married to the property. You're not married to the interest rate. That's not checked. I'm only married to one person right here, my wife. And my house. I'm married to my house and my investments. And you'll be married to your house, but you're not married to that interest rate. Remember that. Refi out at any time, right, Corb?
Yep. Trying to time the market it just doesn't work. I mean, realistically, unless you got really lucky in 2008, which you probably didn't even mean to time 2008. 2008 was a completely different ball game. 2008 had 3.2 million listings. Okay. Now we only have a little over 1 million. It's a big difference. Economics 101, supply and demand. Get in the home, stay in the home. It's a long-term investment. Stop looking at this like it's going to be something that's only going to happen for a year or so. But Greg, thank you for having me on, man.
Hold on, I want to show you one more thing. Let me get this right. Can we see it?
Yep.
7. That's 7. Count them. 7 transactions, sellers and buyers. A lot of them are buyers in escrow for the month of October. Now let me get the date. Yep, it's October 18th. Yep, October 18th. That's 7 transactions. That means we have about a half a month to go. We can actually run out of room on this board for escrows this month. So when buyers and sellers want to tell me or other agents that the market's slow, that ain't nobody buying or selling, what you talking about with us? We're actually closing more transactions now than we were when everything was rocking and rolling, because our buyers' offers are getting accepted and they're getting some deals right now.
100%.
Our sellers are happy to, because they know they got to negotiate a little bit to get the deals done. And we're making it happen. Happy sellers, happy buyers, and real happy investors.
Yes, sir.
Fellas, we get the job done, huh, Corb?
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah. And we've got that USDA 0 down loans for certain areas, right, Corb?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And we got the FHA at 3.5%.
Yep. Conventional 3%. You have down payment assistance products. You got all sorts of different tools in your arsenal that you can use as a buyer to get.
And he's got the toolbox for loans, and I've got the toolbox to make your deal happen, as I just showed you the flow board. Let's go. Happy buyers, happy sellers, happy investors. We look forward to it. Call Greg Reitz on the real estate side. Greg Reitz, Reitz Real Estate Team, Fresno, Clovis, Madera, California. And we service Bakersfield down to Atwater, Merced. Most of our businesses right here, Fresno, Clovis, and Madera, though. It's 559-260-1777. That's right. 559-260-1-LUCKY-777. ReitsTeamFresnoMadera.com. ReitsTeamFresnoMadera.com. And Corbin, what's your hookup?
Yep. Just call me anytime. My number is 559-313-5819. Similar to Greg, we do loans all throughout California, but we mainly help in the Central Valley, and we are actually almost fully licensed in Texas and Florida, and we're working on getting licensed in more states, so we'll be able to lend.
And I just sent you a client for Texas.
Yeah. Yep.
You know the reason I'm showing this board again? I know you guys want to call and get on this board too, and get into your house or sell your house and make it happen. Get on the board. Call now. All right. Let's have a good day. Talk to you later, Corp.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Bye.